Good evening from Ibrox Park in Glasgow for the Zenith Data Systems Challenge. In other words, the British Championship. It's all unofficial, but who could possibly doubt its credibility with Rangers and Arsenal currently occupying the positions they finished up in at the end of last season, north and south of the border. About 30,000 will be here at Ibrox tonight, thousands more watching on a giant screen at Highbury, millions worldwide. And I don't care where you're watching, Ian St John, it won't be as cold as it is here in Glasgow.
One of the coldest places in Europe, I gather, tonight. That's one thing about that, the weather. The players can't stand around, otherwise they'll freeze to death. So I would expect to see a lot of running around, a good physical game. And I do hope that Rangers play a bit better than they have done in the big games here at Ibrox. The European games I'm thinking about. I think the Froes on the day didn't play well. It's a real challenge for them tonight because the Arsenal are a good side, a class side, and I think Rangers will have to be at their best to beat them.
Will Rangers dictate the pace? In other words, will it be more Scottish-style football or English-style football? Or European-style football?
Well, with the amount of Englishmen on the pitch, I think it'll be an English-style game. There's only about 4 or 5 Scotsmen playing. I think the home team, obviously, with the fans here tonight, egging the Rangers on, I think the home team have got to make it. But Arsenal, as we know from what we see down in England, very good counter-attack team as well. And I'm expecting tonight a very good game.
Great credibility, isn't it? I mean, it's the British Championship. No one can possibly dispute that.
As you said there at the start, both teams are where they finished last year, up at the top of the table. So their form is good at the moment, and we can expect, I should think, an excellent game.
Ian, thanks very much indeed. Right, what about the two managers? Graham Souness and George Graham. Strong personalities, as indeed they were as players.
Little dummy by Johnston, gets it back from Rush. It'll come maybe for Dalglish, just nicking it away from Richardson. Souness spreading it for Neil. Played on again for Johnston. Here's Dalglish. Neil in for Souness. And a goal! Souness for Liverpool. Ross. Oh, and now Graham. Quick off for Samos. Graham! Oh, a fine goal! George Graham! And what a goal it was!
George, many years ago, I suppose if things had turned out slightly differently, you could have been a Rangers player, couldn't you?
Yes, one of the last times I was here was 15 years of age when I came to see the then manager, Scott Simon. He wanted to sign me on as a schoolboy, but the place has changed slightly since then.
You've always been a great advocate of the big clubs in England and in Scotland competing against each other on a regular basis, haven't you?
I think so. I think the people in England and Scotland would like to see that. I think the format in England has become a wee bit tired, and I think it's the same up here.
Think this could be a test case for a British league?
Well, I think that might be one for the future, incorporated obviously into our own leagues, because I think that's the basic strength of every championship is to be strong in your home league, and obviously extended into a British league, it would be ideal.
I think we'll find out tonight that this is a very important night for the Scots. What about for Arsenal and for the English?
Obviously it's important for us because we won a very, very exciting championship last year, and Graham's done the same up here with Rangers. They've had a tremendous few years, and we want to take them on up here in Scotland and obviously to beat them.
Do you think the game has lots of credibility, Graham?
Without a doubt. I'm sure you'll see a game tonight. Both teams attempt to play football, and we hope that tonight both teams are able to. The conditions are perfect, although it's a very cold night. There's not a wind, the pitch is perfect, and there's players out there who can entertain and can perform, and hopefully we'll see that tonight.
What about a comparisons of style, George, between top English clubs and top Scottish clubs? Are we likely to see that tonight?
I don't know. I think there's different sort of systems and different styles of play, both in England and in Scotland. I think that's one of the strengths of British football. When you go on the continent, the majority of teams play with a sweeper system, maybe with the exception last year of AC Milan, who play with a flat back four. But I think in British football, I think there's a lot of systems. A sweeper system, there's the flat back four playing a lot of offsides, and I think that's the beauty of our game, variety. I think you'll see a very good game tonight, very competitive.
Have you learned anything from that?
Of course, I went to watch them twice in the last 4 weeks, and I'm very impressed. They're very workmanlike. They'll be hard to beat. I would describe Arsenal right now as maybe the hardest team to play against in Britain, I think, with the style they operate.
Well, that interview with Graham Souness and George Graham recorded a little bit earlier. Incidentally, there's been a traffic jam not far from Ibrox Park tonight. Thousands of spectators have been held up, so the kick-off was delayed. But you'll be able to see the match right after the break. Welcome back to Ibrox Park. We are ready for the best of British. Your commentators, Ian St John and Alan Parry.
Well, Rangers are without their leading goal scorer, Ali McCoist, who has his stomach upset, but what a replacement they've got. Mark Walters, currently serving a 3-match suspension for league games, will play alongside Mo Johnson as a central striker. The other names will all be familiar to football fans throughout Britain. This team contains 7 full internationals, 4 of them English. Mark Walters, who has England World Cup ambitions, and his pace and skill a real handful, I'm sure, for Arsenal's defenders. The Arsenal lineup contains 5 internationals, and the big news is the return of Paul Davis, who hasn't played in the first team since the end of last season. He's been out with a thigh injury. So the match gets underway with Arsenal in a change strip of yellow and dark blue shorts, Rangers in their famous blue shirts and white shorts. Rangers attacking from right to left in this first half. Terrific atmosphere here, over 30,000 inside Ibrox. Niall Quinn dispossessed, and Goff helps the ball back to Chris Woods in the Rangers goal. Rangers, Scottish League champions, a record 39 times, including twice in the last 3 seasons. Arsenal, English champions 9 times, winning the league for the first time in 18 years, of course, in that memorable finale last season. And appropriately, both teams currently top of their own leagues at the moment. Gary Stevens with the throw. Out by Winterburn. Laid back by Marwood. Adams having a little bit of trouble getting it clear, and Paul Davis gets his first taste of the action. Stevens with the throw. Trevor Stephen. And the ball laid in foul. Johnston. Cleared by Dixon. Back to Trevor Stephen again. Stevens with the cross. Johnston unmarked in the middle, but also offside. Mo Johnson, as you can see, wearing gloves. It's a desperately cold evening here in Glasgow tonight. The referee, one of the most experienced officials in Scotland, David Syme from Rutherglen. And a warm welcome, if that's the appropriate phrase, on a night as cold as this, to all the supporters watching the relay of this game at Highbury. I'm sure you'll be warmer than us. Quinn's header, knocked back by Trevor Stephen. This is Gary Stevens. Another touch for Chris Woods. Merson in this new partnership tonight, trying to test one of England's deputy goalkeepers, Chris Woods. Johnston the target. O'Leary heading clear, but just before he did so, he pushed Mo Johnson. Free kick to Rangers. Terry Butcher's gone up for it. Trevor Stephen looking for him. Andy won it as well. Walters in on it. And Lukic strong. Well, Ian St John, a Scot shouldn't really be feeling the cold as much as an Englishman, but I suspect you are.
Well, I'm glad I had my porridge this morning, Alan. I'll tell you, it really is a parky night up here at Ibrox. But I think the football tonight will warm us. Both teams look, even at this stage, as if they've come out to try and play a bit. And what I think all fans don't like to see is when it's one of these games where you feel there's not an awful lot at stake, although we're saying it's a British Championship match, you know, sometimes the players don't put it in. But I think tonight we'll see both teams really getting themselves about the pitch and being really busy.
There's Mo Johnson with a good little layoff. And back it comes. And that's a good ball as well to Monroe on the left, and a dangerous looking cross, and Johnston was very close to getting on the end of it. Knocked behind by Winterburn for a corner. The first of the game. Good ball. Monroe's cross almost finding Johnston on the far post. A lot of danger from the likes of Goff and Butcher from corners, although this one goes in along the ground. Trevor Stephen again. Cleared by Richardson, but only as far as Butcher, and his snapshot well wide. Terry Butcher now in his 4th season since his move from Ipswich, and an ever-present in virtually every one of those seasons. Ferguson up well, but straight to Winterburn. Quinn got it through, and then Merson finding Marwood on the far side. Only Rocastle in the middle for him at the moment. He aimed for him, but it never reached him. Butcher's clearance. Adams winning it well. Out again by Goffin. It's a good ball for Walters, and a break on here. Stephen, and he's got Johnston inside him unmarked. Good challenge, though, by Lee Dixon. That was superb defending by the Arsenal number 2. Because had Walters been allowed to play that ball through, or rather had he been able to receive it from Stephen, there would surely have been a goal. Walters was unmarked. Butcher's clearance. O'Leary again wins it, but it drops this time for Munro. Adams. Now Spackman. Johnston. First touch let him down, and Adams gets it clear. Rocastle under pressure here from Munro, but he's done well, and he finds Merson. Quinn's unmarked in the middle, and Marwood outside him, and he's seen him. This is Marwood. Laid back for Davis, which possibly wasn't the right ball. And then the cross from Winterburn, and it drops to Quinn. The Rangers very relieved to get that one away. They looked real danger then. Munro eventually cleaning things up. Minutes gone in the first half then. Still Rangers 0, Arsenal 0. Brown with the clearance. Johnston up very well. Well, it proves that even when you're up against a guy who's over 6 foot, if your timing's right, then you can still win the ball. Brown got up very well. This is Walters. Johnson in just behind him. Munro through, and Johnston turned to look at the linesman's flag, almost knowing, as Munro played it through to him, what the decision would be. Butcher got it clear. Ferguson, a poor header, straight to Marwood. He's got Winterburn outside him. Richardson. Marwood again. Trevor Stephen got it clear, only as far as Rocastle. Dixon thundering down the right for him. And the tackle by Munro is a foul. Chris Woods lining up his defenders. Richardson over the ball. Quinn has gone forward and is being joined in the box now by Tony Adams. It was aimed at Adams and came through to Quinn, and the referee allowed play to go on then when it looked as though there'd been a handball as that free kick came over. You can see it again here, Ian.
Well, this is the first time that Arsenal have managed to get in touch with the free kicks, and they're always very dangerous. And it did look as if Niall Quinn gave it the old elbow there to try and knock the ball down.
Perry Groves is about to come on and replace Marwood in the Arsenal lineup, but not until the ball's gone out of play, of course. Forward from Munro. But too far forward. Bukic coming way outside his own penalty area again, but finding Quinn. Turned forward by Davis. Here's Quinn again. And the referee gives a free kick against him. This time it was handball. And the referee's attention being drawn to the touchline. Where Arsenal now will make their substitution. Brian Marwood has really got a bit of a knock. Goes off. And Parry Groves will take his place. Parry Groves, a lot of pace. Very direct, 4 goals already this season, as Trevor Steven gets onto that through ball from Walters, but offside given. Referee said play on, because Arsenal are in possession. I'm not sure O'Leary realised that. I think he'd rather have had the free kick then. Goff wins it back to Butcher.
That was an unusual decision, wasn't it? The referee overruling the linesman on an offside decision. It's not often you see that.
Quinn wins it again. Merson nearly reached it. Davis! Oh, what a tremendous goal by Paul Davis! And what a way to celebrate your return to first-team football. 27 minutes gone, and Paul Davis, who hasn't played since the end of last season, shows that his reactions are just as sharp as they were when he was a regular. How quickly he moved onto that loose ball, and the shot arrowed beyond Woods.
It was an unstoppable shot, and Terry Butcher didn't get a tackle in there. Davis read the ball was racing through, and from just the edge of the box there into the top corner. A real beauty.
Tremendous goal from Davis, and that has livened things up now. Rangers go a goal down. Butcher forward to Walters. Ferguson's there, O'Leary's interception. But here's Trevor Steven, and a good ball. Roe Johnson. 3 players in the penalty area. He looks for Monroe, but Lukic is too tall to be beaten by that kind of cross. Dixon. Merson. Quinn. Good ball. Rocastle. Dixon. Good play, but it hit him on the heel and breaks for Brown. Now Trevor Steven. 5 is Spackman. Steven. Brown. Good challenge from Rocastle. Spackman. Steven. Trevor Steven, incidentally, playing in a central midfield role these days. So used to seeing him on the right for Everton in England. Here's Gary Stevens. Walters. Never reached him, though. Rocastle. He'll have to go alone for the moment. Merson fell. And Rocastle quite adept at keeping the ball. Now Merson's back on his feet and in possession. Richardson. Rangers pushing up, trying to play offside. Dixon. And Rangers get their offside. And Arsenal are going to make another substitution here. David O'Leary, who I thought was struggling a moment ago when the ball came into the area, has gone off injured. Looks as though he's pulled a muscle, and Gus Caesar will take his place. Well, that's bad news, really, for Arsenal, Ian.
Well, 2 players off already, yes. But I must say that the game...
I think you're okay. Adams in possession.
I was going to say the game, there's been a lot of effort going in, and it's been an interesting game, but what we've missed really has been goal-mouth incidents. But that goal certainly livened things up.
A good kick by Lukic. Walters wins it. Quinn. Still Quinn and Mercer. And that should definitely have been Arsenal's second goal. That's a bad miss by Paul Merson. The ball came through almost by accident. Quinn battling away for it. It bobbled straight into Merson's path, and he had time to do better than that, Ian.
Yes, a bad miss from young Paul. It's not often, mind you, he misses him when he gets through like that. He's usually a very good finisher.
7 minutes to half-time, and that could be a crucial miss. But here goes Quinn again, and he finds Merson again. Was that a push by Brown? No, says the referee. Play on. Monroe. Dixon's challenge. Merson can't believe it, but I suspect he's more disappointed with his own inaccuracy a few moments earlier. And one thing's for sure, Niall Quinn is causing a lot of problems to Rangers' defence with his physical style, and the crowd don't like it.
Well, I don't come across players as tall as him up here in Scotland, that's for sure. And the big fella has put himself about tonight. Let's face it, he's fighting for his place, isn't he?
That's right. Oh, well won by Butcher, a towering header. Johnston. Brown. It's not a bad ball either. Ferguson. And he's beaten Caesar. And he's beaten the second challenge from Davis. Good play. Gary Stevens. Now he hit it straight at Groves, but retains possession from the rebound. Trevor Stephen hooks it in. Gus Caesar away. Rocastle. Quick break on here for Arsenal. They've got 3 men forward. Good challenge though by Brown. It just stopped Rocastle in his tracks, but Groves unmarked on the left. Rocastle. Dixon. And the 1-2 didn't come off. Monroe with the interception. And the crowd enjoyed that moment. But the ball too far ahead of Mo Johnston. Less than 4 minutes of the half remaining then. Rangers 0, Arsenal 1. Butcher wins it back, but only as far as Davis, and now Richardson. Gary Stevens. Davis. Merson's had a good one for Groves. The interception by Gary Stevens. And Adams having a very sound game for Arsenal tonight. Tony Adams hasn't really missed a thing.
No, that's correct. Rangers really haven't found a way around Adams yet tonight, and I think they'll have to have a little chat at half-time and decide there may be other ways of trying to play in this game other than what they've been doing in the first 45.
Stevens. Graham Souness confined to the stand these days with Walter Smith, his assistant. They're banned from the touchline. And their job starts now, because there's the half-time whistle, and they've got to try and sort out Rangers' first half inadequacies here. A splendid goal by Paul Davis, separating the sides at half-time. A lively game, not quite as much goalmouth incident as we would have hoped for, but plenty to play for in the second half. Half-time score, Rangers 0, Arsenal 1. Rejoin us after the break. So as Rangers get the second half underway, welcome back to the Ibrox Stadium for this unofficial British Championship match. Bonnie Ginsberg has come on during the half-time interval in goal for Rangers, and they've made 2 other substitutions as well. Davy Dodds and Tom Cowan have come on. John Brown and Richard Goff have gone off. So all 3 substitutes permitted. That's Cowan, a 20-year-old left-side midfield player who came for £100,000 from Clyde. Arsenal, remember, have already made 2 of their 3 permitted outfield substitutes. And they lead by 1-0. Forward from Davis, the man who scored the goal. And Butcher gets it back to Ginsberg, who's played 8 games this season. There's Davy Dodds, former Dundee United man, wearing number 12. Dodds has gone into a forward position. And Mark Walters has now returned to his more normal outside left role. Butcher's clearance, that's an Arsenal throw. Merson. Groves couldn't keep it in. Johnston. Arsenal's throw, Winterburn will take it. Incidentally, surprisingly, in friendlies and testimonials and so on, these two clubs have met no fewer than 21 times down the years, and it's very much in Rangers' favour. They've won 10 of them, Arsenal only 4, 7 drawn. Mark Walters for Rangers. Intercepted by Dixon, and Spackman brought down by the Arsenal number 2. Didn't really need to do that. Spackman wasn't in a particularly threatening position. Dixon won the ball initially, and then as Spackman took it off him again, Dixon's challenge was a bit wild. Stephen and Walters, the two players over the ball. Walters just sets it up for Ferguson to hit it. And despite the ooze of the crowd, it was well wide, really, Ian.
Yes, it was wide, but I'm looking at the Rangers substitutions, and I think Graham Souness was quite right to change things down his left flank. I don't think there was an awful lot happening in the first half down that side, and he shook it up. He's got Walters out there with Cowan behind him now, and we'll just see how they manage to operate. Bobby Robson having a look at all the Englishmen on view.
Here's Munro. Dodds. Johnston. Ferguson. Stevens. Spackman. Under pressure from Davis, and he's done well. Spackman, that's a good ball. Stevens, good play. But just one ball too many perhaps, but given away again by Arsenal. Terry Butcher. He's got Cowan on the left and Walters directly ahead of him. Spackman. Stephen. Good start to the second half this by the Scottish champions, and that's a good ball as well. And Johnston got on the end of it, and that's the equaliser. 5 minutes into the second half. Spackman with the through ball, Ferguson onto it, he whipped it straight across the goal mouth, and Johnson made contact. Lukic claimed with a hand, he said with his chest.
I think with his chest as well, but the pressure from Rangers finally paying off. A good ball here across the face of the pitch, and you'll see a little more diving in there, and I think he did get it with his chest, and then it went.
So Mo Johnston gets his 11th goal of the season, and early in the second half, Rangers are level. Rangers won, Arsenal won, and the noise around Ibrox now really something. John Lukic reluctant to return the ball. He still feels the Arsenal goalkeeper that Johnston used a hand then, but from that angle behind the goal, it looked as though it was the chest. So Arsenal have to build again, and they begin that rebuilding by going all the way back to their own goal. Mo Johnston gets his 7th goal in the last 9 games. Quinn up well at the other end. Merson's there, but good defending. And indeed the free kick given for a foul on Munro. Johnson fouling Adams. Looked a bit harsh, that decision. Free kick to Arsenal, top of the First Division again, of course. Quinn will be the target for Winterburn. In fact, it was met by Groves and then cleared by Stevens. Dodds fouled by Caesar. The referee has allowed play to go on again. Dixon. It's a good ball for Merson. And a good-looking cross, and Quinn was on the end of it. And Arsenal are back in front, or are they? Yes. Suddenly, Quinn looked at thinking the goal was going to be disallowed, but his fears were unfounded. It stands. Merson got in behind the defender Munro, clipped the ball dangerously across. Quinn went in and met it. It hit Ginsberg on the chest, and there was nothing wrong with that goal.
Actually, was slack marking by Rangers and Monroe in particular, allowing Merson to get in behind him. But once he got there, he played a lovely ball across the 6-yard box, and the big fella with his long legs managed to just poke it in.
12 minutes gone in the second half then. Rangers 1, Arsenal 2 now. Now Quinn's 4th goal of the season. Stephen came back to him off Davis. Now Spackman. Ferguson. Groves beats him in the tackle. Winterburn to Merson. What a good layoff, although he was unlucky. Spackman read it well. Stevens. Strange ball by Stevens. But it finds Walters in the end. Dixon clear. Oh, lovely football from Rocastle, and another dangerous looking break here for Arsenal. Still Rocastle, what a run this is. Still got it. And then gave it away. What a disappointing end to that fine run.
He's had a fine game tonight, David Rocastle, Alan, and that was a tremendous run. But his overall game, I think, tonight is better than it's been for some time, I think. He's not had a great season so far, but he's sparkling about this evening.
Mo Johnson, Winterburn, Stevens, Dodds. Rocastle got in just ahead of Mark Walters. Good header from Butcher. Dodds. Beaten by Richardson, but there was a handball appeal, and it's been upheld by the referee. Monroe with the free kick. Quinn's back to defend. Monroe in again. Straight forward for Lukic. Walters. Spackman's in there. Cowan. That's a good ball. Mo Johnson. Spackman. Stephen. Spackman again, and Stephen. Good attack this by Rangers, but a good challenge again from Adams. Groves caught in possession, and Winterburn rescued the situation. Some of the tackles really flying in now. Groves using his pace. Was he fouled by Ferguson? He was. Half an hour of this game remaining. Ferguson's foul on Groves gives Arsenal the free kick. They lead by 2-1. Niall Quinn, who got the second goal, forward again for the free kick. Winterburn will take it. Won by Gary Stevens. The ball breaking for Davis, scorer of the first goal. Groves is in there. Davis again. This is Winterburn. The cross aimed towards Quinn, and the goalkeeper did well, and Quinn's challenge was a bit clumsy again. A real favourite here, Bonnie Ginsberg with the Rangers supporters. And he had to be brave and decisive then as that cross came over. Quinn's not the man you want to see coming at you in that situation. Merson's flick, Quinn. Now played the ball in behind Rocastle. It's so fast in the middle of the field, it really needs somebody to try and settle it down a bit. Stevens. Good challenge by Adams. Quinn, Merson with him, and Rocastle. And now Dixon. Merson wants the ball played in high to the far post. And Dixon held on to it too long, really. But gets it back. And does well. And still Dixon. Rocastle. Good play by Rocastle, a dangerous cross, and a spectacular clearance by Monroe. Walters. Johnston, and the ball had already crossed the line, and also I think there was a foul as it was played up the line on Cowan. Dodds. Groves there to dispossess him, but in fact the referee has said that Groves was fouling the Rangers man. Cowan with the free kick, short to Monroe and now to Trevor Stephen. Merson working very hard to deny him space. This is Stevens. Ferguson. Spackman. Great deal of pride at stake here tonight. Rangers believe they've got a team as good as any in Britain, and they want to prove that against the English champions. But at the moment, it's Arsenal leading 2-1 and really enjoying a good spell in this game. Merson, a wasted ball though. Walters with space in which to attack the defender, the situation he relishes. And as he played it through to Mo Johnson, there was a misunderstanding. Richardson. Quinn. Now Walters can try again. Stephen. Butcher. Good strong run here by Terry Butcher. And he ran into trouble in the end and was fouled. Butcher forward for the free kick, taken by Walters. Butcher's header. Oh, it was well saved by Lukic, because that was creeping in. Lukic did well to reach it. Butcher's header aimed at the top corner, and Lukic just palmed it away. Corner. Butcher there again. Came off the head of Davy Dodds for a goal kick. Cowan with the header. Caesar got it away. Midway through this second half now. And Caesar did well. Dodds is there with him and is brought down. Caesar trying to claim that Dodds made the most of that, but he certainly made contact. And this could be a dangerous situation, this free kick. Caesar had the ball initially, was thinking about playing it back to Lukic, and Dodds came in and made it a problem for him and went down. Walters free kick, Lukic coming and just about got there. Ferguson turns it back. Stevens. Stephen. Difficult ball, headed away by Adams. Cowan. Adams there again with Johnston. Winterburn dispossessed by Stevens. And he just got it wrong, really. He was trying to angle it into Walters, but got the angles wrong.
It was almost impossible, really, to get the ball across the way he wanted it there with his right foot. It'd have been better just having a go with his left peg, surely.
Butcher. Stephen. Good play. Ferguson. Johnston. But Adams is in there again like a tiger. He's had determination written all over his face all night, Tony Adams. Mo Johnston. Butcher. In towards Dodds. And Winterburn gets it away. Stevens. Dodds and Walters just behind him, and Caesar was climbing all over Dodds then. And I would have to say that Caesar's very fortunate to get away with that challenge. It's always difficult for referees to decide whether the forward is backing into the defender or not. Well, actually, looking at it again from that side, I think maybe the referee was right. Ian, what's your view?
Well, I thought Caesar had jumped too early, and he was coming down, you know, as the Rangers player was wanting to go up.
Anyway, a talking point as the long throw comes in. Oh, and it's a difficult bouncing ball in there. Ferguson's in there. Dodds is in there. The shot by Spackman. And finally, Arsenal get it away. Oh, and a bad ball there by the youngster Cowan. And he's a bit fortunate not to be punished for that, but he takes the throw in quickly and intelligently. Walters. Rangers throw. Quinn working hard to defend this time. Stephen. Oh, it eluded everybody. Here's Spackman. Still Spackman. Oh, so close to his first Rangers goal. And after that melee in the Arsenal goalmouth, when the ball finally came out to Spackman, he kept his shot low and he hit it hard, but it went just wide. Back again, Cowan. And he was fouled by Richardson. Richardson, or Geordie, even he said he felt it was freezing tonight. And the free kick taken and rather wasted by Rangers, but they'll have another one for handball. Butcher's gone forward, marked by Quinn, who he has been marking when the ball's been at the other end. What a battle those two have had. Walters with the free kick. Interesting, Johnston. Good little ball out as well to Cowan. Winterburn was the only man who really reacted as the cross came in. It's a corner. Trevor Stephen will take the kick. Not a good kick either. But it comes back to Cowan. And Cowan was tackled just as he hit the ball. And that's a free kick.
I've been impressed with this young fella, Tom Cowan. Got a belt in the nose from the referee there. But he's very confident, very quick looking as well. And, you know, he looks a bubbly little character.
Under 5 minutes to go then. Arsenal holding a 2-1 advantage here. But now facing this free kick. Trevor Stephen and Ferguson, two players lining up the shot. It's Ferguson who hits it straight at the wall. Monroe. Dodds moved in quickly. Walters is there. The whistle's already gone. It won't count. As Johnson lashes the wall into the net, he knew, I think. He'd heard David Syme's whistle go. Ian?
Yeah, again, it was a good ball by Cowans, you know, neat little ball in there. And it would appear, well, Mo Johnson was offside anyway, but it would appear it was a foul against Dodds.
Richardson. Back it goes to Dixon. Monroe. Dixon's there again. Johnston, that's a good ball. Stephen dispossessed. And a foul by Richardson. So maybe Rangers will have one final opportunity as Spackman is brought down. Been a lot of stoppage time added. 3 minutes of it. This has got to be the last chance, surely. Stephen in, Butcher's in there. Away by Adams. Winterburn will try to prevent the corner and does so. And there, in fact, is the final whistle. And at the end of this unofficial British Championship, it's Niall Quinn's goal which has given Arsenal victory. Paul Davis with a brilliant first half strike, giving the English champions the lead. Mo Johnson pulled one back for Rangers early in the second half. Quinn's winner, though, gave Arsenal a deserved victory over the match. A lively encounter, good competitive football, and how nice to see the British Championship played on a British ground. That's got to be the way forward for this new competition. So the final score at Ibrox, Rangers 1, Arsenal 2.
Arsenal then, the new British champions, unofficial or not, they certainly earned it the hard way. Ian St John, it was quite a battle out there. Not pretty stuff, but it was good, hard, competitive football.
No, it wasn't the greatest game we've ever seen, but better than Sunday's, let's put it that way. But you could tell by the commitment of the players, you know, with players going down with cramp at the end. Everybody was putting it in, you know, they were really trying. It wasn't a spectacular game in any way, but I think we missed a few goal-mouth incidents. I think that was the thing that was lacking.
And again, with Bobby Robson watching, there were one or two players out there who didn't do their World Cup chances any harm.
No, I thought actually that Mark Walters would have been hoping tonight to have impressed, because he's always saying, why doesn't Robson come up here and see me playing at Ibrox? Well, he came tonight, and I don't think Mark had one of his better performances, you know.
How will Trevor Stephen feel then?
I thought Trevor didn't do badly, especially first half. He was very much involved, and I thought he looked quite comfortable there. And as I say, first half, then he sort of faded out a little bit in the second.
He was voted the Rangers man of the match, and Tony Adams was voted man of the match from Arsenal's point of view.
Well, I think that was an outstanding one, because Tony Adams is having a fine season, as you well know. We gave him the man of the match at the game at Arsenal recently. He's having a great season, and he must be looking now at one of those centre-half spots. Terry Butcher, I thought, had a good game tonight for Rangers as well. But I would think Adams and Butcher, you know, will be vying for those centre-back positions.
Could they play together, Ian?
Well, of course you could play together, yes. I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, I think Tony Adams has come on a ton this year. I think he's shown a lot of command. He's organising people around him. He's not as slow as some people think he is. In fact, I don't think he's slow at all. And his use of the ball is becoming very good.
Well, as Ian just steps to one side, we can welcome Trevor Stephen. I think from a personal point of view, Trevor, you'll be quite pleased with your performance tonight.
Yeah, so I was fairly pleased, but the overall result wasn't pleasing, and the way we lost the goals was a bit soft, so we're disappointed in that respect. But personally, it was okay. I enjoyed the first half. Second half was a bit scrappy. But
what about Arsenal? What was your assessment of them?
Well, just as I remember them, really, they're very well organised and got good individual players, and they play at their strengths. We didn't play to our strengths tonight. We didn't do ourselves justice, so we're all disappointed with that.
Were you pleased to see Bobby Robson here, watching you at last?
I think it must be his first game up here, but I'm sure he's got people looking to see how the form the Rangers players are doing. I'm sure he doesn't have to come up and watch every game, but it's nice to see him here. Just a pity that everything wasn't quite as rosy as we thought it might be.
Yet has it been disappointing for you that you haven't even been in the England squads for recent internationals?
It's always disappointing when you're not in the squad after being in for such quite a long period of time. I wasn't in most of last season, but I got in for the Scotland game at the end of last season. But since then, I haven't figured at all. But I'm not giving up hope yet. You know, I'd keep plugging away, and hopefully I might just sneak in.
You're in a central midfield role now. I mean, he'll probably remember you more as the Steve Coppell type of midfield player, shunting up and down the right, as you did for Everton.
That's right. With Everton, I played in numerous positions, but generally I started off on the right and made that sort of position my own at that time. I'm playing in the middle here. I've enjoyed that. Ray Wilkins was playing with me before Nigel came, and in the league we're playing very well, but tonight we just didn't do it.
Well, thanks to Trevor Stephen, to Ian St John and everybody here at Ibrox. So Arsenal are the new unofficial British champions. The next football on ITV is on Saturday afternoon, when indeed Arsenal could lose the leadership of the First Division. The match is Liverpool against Manchester United. The start is 1:40, although the kick-off is 12:30. But it's the entire match, and you'll be able to see it Saturday afternoon, 1:40 on ITV. From all of us here in Scotland, it's good night.
Next on TSN.
Liverpool's capture of the Barclays League Championship and the rest of today's sport. Here's Mark Austin.
Kenny Dalglish's Liverpool are the Football League champions for a record 18th time. They beat Queen's Park Rangers 2-1 at Anfield, and the title was theirs when Aston Villa were held to a 3-3 draw by Norwich.
The tension of the last few weeks was showing at Anfield, and out on the pitch, Rangers were touching some raw nerves. Wegley squeezing the ball over after some slack marking. Once more, Liverpool fell back in disarray as Rangers pressed harder. Clark within an inch of the second. But before half-time, Liverpool had sorted themselves out. They equalised with a goal which will go straight into the Ian Rush scrapbook. Now the tension was gone, and in the second half it was just a matter of time before Liverpool broke through. Gillespie almost making it. Then the goal which finally won the title. Nicol went down a foot outside the area, but the luck had turned. It was a penalty that Barnes casually turned into a winner. Now all ears were tuned to Villa Park. When Norwich's draw was confirmed, the Anfield party could begin. The Cop had claimed their 18th championship. The disappointment of last season's failure could finally be forgotten.
Was it beginning to worry you deep down inside that you might not actually be good enough to win it with a great chance there?
Nah. They can't dispute their ability. There's nobody can dispute that. At the end of the day, they've come away and they've won it, and they've deserved to win it because they're the best.
And this was the goal that took the title to Anfield. Robert Rosario's equaliser for Norwich. That made the score 3-3, and Villa's last chance to deny Liverpool had gone. Wigan made rugby league history at Wembley, becoming the first side to win the Silk Cut Challenge Cup 3 times in succession. In front of 80,000 fans, Wigan beat their Lancashire neighbours Warrington 36-14 to add the cup to their championship and Regal Trophy successes.
Ellery Hanley led his all-conquering Wigan out for the North's annual pilgrimage to London. Their only doubt, 6 of their stars carrying injuries. They needn't have worried, one of them, Edwards, charging down a clearance kick to give Betts the opening try. Another gave them a 14-point lead before Warrington crept back into the match. Bishop setting up skipper Mike Gregory. After the break, though, the floodgates opened. Hanley slipping it to Aro, another who looked far from injured. Wigan were unstoppable. Man of the match Gregory winning a record 5th Cup Winners' medal, brilliantly setting up Hanley to wriggle his way to the line. Even though the match was lost, Warrington didn't give up. Gregory leading by example to give Lyon a consolation try with 5 minutes left. But Wigan were determined to have the last word. Aro getting a record 6th cup final try, marred by a flare-up with Drummond. It was quickly calmed down by the referee, and it couldn't spoil Wigan's record 3rd cup win on the trot. Giles Smith, ITN Sport, Wembley.
The Grand National winner, Mr. Frisk, jumped into the record books when he won the Whitbread Gold Cup at Sandown. He's the first horse to win both races in the same season, and just like Aintree, he led all the way.
And they've got one to jump, and it's Mr. Frisk who finds acceleration to take the last fence in his stride and come home 4 clear of Durham edition of Won't Be Gone Long at 4 tricks in the 34th winning of the Whitbread Gold Cup. The national winner goes on to win this. Mr. Frisk has hit clear by 8 to 10. Mr. Frisk the winner.
In the winner's enclosure, there were huge cheers for the 9-2 favourite and his amateur jockey, Marcus Armitage. It was a good day for the batsmen in the Britannic County Championship. Alan Lamb and Alan Fordham both scored double centuries as Northants made 498 for 3 against Yorkshire. And among the century makers, Gooch for Essex against Middlesex and Viv Richards as Glamorgan follow on against Leicestershire. But the biggest celebrations tonight are at Anfield, where the Liverpool players paid tribute to their boss in their own special way. It was a traditional ending to a triumphant season for Kenny Dalglish and his team.
ITN bulletins continue throughout the night. Sue Carpenter will be here throughout the day tomorrow. From me, goodbye.
Eyewitness this week, we reveal the dangers lurking inside Britain's crumbling schools, plus exclusive interviews with Boris Yeltsin and Adnan Khashoggi. That's Eyewitness at 1:10 on Sunday on ITV.
Good evening. Well, plenty of fine, warm, spring-like weather to come for most of the country tomorrow. We have an area of high pressure settling down quite nicely now near southern England. Still, though, a fairly brisk run of west to southwesterly winds across northern Britain. That brings a little bit of cloud, a little bit of rain up there. Tonight, then, to begin with, still some rain up in the far northwest. Cloud increasing along the Irish Sea coast and in the west coast of Scotland, with the odd patch of drizzle here and there. But generally speaking, a dry night, some clear skies allowing some patchy fog by tomorrow morning. Generally speaking, quite a mild night across most of the country. Down in the southeastern corner, with those clearer skies, things getting a little chilly, just for a short time later in the night. But any mist and fog going quite quickly, and tomorrow for most of England and Wales, another fine day, broken cloud with a good deal of sunshine, but rather more cloud perhaps in southern districts than we saw during the day today. Further north, a brighter day in eastern and southern Scotland, and certainly a brighter day than they had today in Northern Ireland, with the sun punching through the cloud from time to time. A couple of troublesome areas across northern Scotland, a little bit of drizzle for a time, but generally speaking that moving away northwards. And western coasts in general exposed to those southwest winds, tending to see rather more cloud and perhaps the odd patch of drizzle. Temperatures, well, it looks like a very warm day generally, 19 or 18 there. That's the mid-60s Fahrenheit, perhaps up as high as 20 or even 21 in the south at 70. That's it from me. Good night.
And as Alex Hill said, a fairly good day tomorrow. However, tonight, mostly clear. Misty in places later on towards the morning. Temperatures around 3 degrees Celsius, that's 37 degrees Fahrenheit. As for tomorrow, sunshine and warmer than today, with inland temperatures around 18 degrees Celsius, that's 64 degrees Fahrenheit. However, slightly cooler on the coast with sea breezes, and those winds will be light east to southeasterly.
If you're too busy running your business to plan your business, get an expert to help you get it right. The Enterprise Initiative. Phone 0800 500 200.